As a gardener who loves low maintenance plants, Coleus fits right in. Most plants are grown for their blooms, but Coleus is put in the landscape for their gorgeous leaves. The variety that they come in, the colors, it's incredible. There is also a health benefit to Coleus that I will be talking about in a few minutes. It's probably something you don't even know about. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people. Natural remedies have been around for hundreds, even thousands of years, like the one we're going to be discussing today. And they've been around that long because they work, and they work on humans. Do you grow Coleus? Do you have a particular variety that you like? I used to love the King Kong versions where you had these humongous leaves that came in these gorgeous bright colors. But there are over 300 different Coleus species and over 1,500 varieties, and they're constantly creating new ones. Traditionally known as a shade-loving plant, you can now find varieties that will grow in full sun or sun and shade or sun or shade, depending on your landscape. I absolutely love Coleus. You can find some Coleus that are $5 a plant or more, or you can find a whole flat for $10. And that's what I did this spring. I went to my farmer's market and I looked at the ones that I thought, boy, I'd really like to have those. And I counted the spaces where I needed to put them. And I thought, that's over $50 worth of plants, not for me. So I decided to buy a flat of Coleus, and they're like the one pictured in the very middle of this picture. I have no idea what the name of it is. I really don't care. All I care about is the fact that where I put them is shady and needed some brightness. And with its lime green edges and its maroon centers, it hit the spot. I can plant other things around it, but it really does brighten up that area. And if you visit my channel and you watch my Gardening with Granny series, you probably will see this particular Coleus in one of my visits to my garden. So I also planted the same plant at my back door entrance, and those are in pots, and the pots on one side are practically in full sun for about 8 hours. The other side is in full shade for most of the day. So I need a plant that is quite versatile. I tried begonias, I've tried many different flowers, petunias, you name it, I've tried it in those pots. And invariably, one side does better than the other. But last year I put Coleus in and both sides did beautifully. So I'm very happy with Coleus. I finally found a solution for that situation. The Coleus that I find very interesting has these edgy leaves. They're unusual. Most of the time, the Coleus has like an oval leaf, but this one is a really unusual I can see why people would be drawn to this particular one. I've also seen where people are drawn to the names of certain things like Wicked Witch and the very, very dark ones. They are beautiful in their own right, but they do bloom, and if you're trying to make the plant last, you really do want to clip those blooms so that it can keep growing. The signal to the plant that it is reproducing is that bloom, and when the bloom turns to seeds, it's done. So to avoid that, it's a good idea to clip the bloom so that you can have that plant last. Does require some water, a little bit of fertilizer, not a whole lot, but it does require a little bit of attention once in a while. But it certainly isn't a demanding plant where you have to constantly get in there and deadhead it like geraniums. If you don't deadhead the geraniums, it's going to stop blooming. So that's an important thing too. And I did a lot of videos on geraniums in the winter. I actually showed how I propagated, cut the little bits like a flower and a couple of stem from a geranium, and actually propagated it. And in one of my videos, I showed how that was planted, and then further where it ended up being planted, and it is now in bloom. So it's kind of fun propagating geraniums. And I'm wondering if you can do the same thing with coleus. So this year I'm going to try doing that. The coleus that I want to talk about is called Coleus fuscoli, and it is used in Ayurvedic medicine and has been for hundreds of years. In Ayurvedic medicine, they use it for the circulation, and it is an important circulation tonic. It actually has been used to treat congestive heart failure and increase circulation of blood to the brain. So in Ayurvedic medicine, it is a very important tool to help with people's health. Its antispasmodic action makes coleus valuable for respiratory complaints, including asthma and bronchitis. Glaucoma is characterized by elevated intraocular pressure, known as IOP. It is a condition in which the pressure in the eye is too high, and that's due to an imbalance between the formation of the aqueous humor, or the liquid in the eye, and its absorption and drainage out of the eye. Eventually, as this pressure builds up, the blood vessels nourishing the optic nerve are constricted, resulting in irreversible damage if left untreated. Several animal and human research studies have demonstrated the ability of forskolin, which is the active ingredient in this particular coleus. Now you'll notice that this coleus does not look like any of the other 300 species that you may be aware of. So if these animal studies show that in human research studies, this isn't animal research or petri dishes, this is actually human studies have demonstrated the ability of forskolin to lower IOP, possibly because of the C-AMP activation and reduction in aqueous flow. Now, I have linked the description in the description below, the research study where I got all this information from, and I urge you to find that link and read it for yourself. I really feel that everybody should research their own before making health decisions. Blood pressure support. Well, recent research confirmed that Coleus, this particular Coleus, consists of a powerful compound called forskolin that may have muscle relaxant properties and can dilate blood vessels, thus has a capability to lower blood pressure, antihypertensive property. With dilated blood vessels, the heart works less to pump the blood through the body. Now there's extenuating circumstances, and that's another area you need to do your own research. But Coleus can provide health benefits for patients suffering from cardiomyopathy. Thyroid. Forskolin found in Coleus has been found to regulate various enzymes and hormones in the human body. It may be used to control and cure thyroid gland malfunctioning, particularly when the gland is underfunctioning, such as in hypothyroidism. Now, this is Ayurvedic medicine, and this is the research that I'm citing. Weight loss. The active chemical found in Coleus or forskolin, and it has been found to promote weight loss in patients who are considered obese. It works on dissolving fat. So research has shown that the forskolin in Coleus can boost the production of enzyme called adrenolate cyclase. And as a result, likewise boost another enzyme called CAMP. Now, you'll see CAMP, C-A-M-P, not CAMP, but small c, large letters, A-M-P, is recognized by the medical community as something really important in weight loss. So this dropping reaction of enzyme forces the fat cells to burn and release their stored energy. How great is that? I mean, how many of us have stomach fat that we would like to see reduced? And apparently activating CAMP helps to do that. Coleus forskolin is important in the treatment of allergic respiratory conditions such as asthma by stabilizing body cells responsible for the release of histamines, which trigger allergic and reactions and relaxing smooth muscle tissue. So that's the antispasmodic part of it. So this particular element of Coleus forskolin is the active ingredient. And I don't recommend anybody just take the active ingredient. To me, that's just like taking a drug. You need the whole herb, and the whole herb is basically what the research is based on. IBS. This is a disorder of the intestines with symptoms such as irritable bowel movements, irregular bowel movements, which may include diarrhea, it may include constipation, one or the other, and you never know what's going on with abdominal cramps and pain and bloating. So Coleus forskolin demonstrates relief against the condition by acting on the inflammation of the intestine, which aids in the process of digestion and thus providing relief with people who are troubled with irritable bowel. Now, healthy metabolism is closely related to providing relief against IBS. Coleus forskolin aids in the digestive process by boosting the production of stomach acids. Now, you may think, oh my goodness, I have too much acid. I have to take acid supplements just to stop the acid. The acid is forming because of rotting food, because your digestion is so slow that the food doesn't get digested properly fast enough, and therefore it sits in the stomach and rots and forms bubbling, gassy acids. If you've ever done fermenting, you know about how acids need to escape when something is fermenting. And that's what's happening to the food in your stomach when you digest too slowly. It actually ferments. And this is not a good fermentation. This is really bad. So improving digestion is really important. And I've attached a link in the description below where I did a class on tummy troubles. And if you want to know more about digestion and the importance of it, I urge you to watch that video. So when using plant medicine, it is important to not only get the proper plant, like we just talked about, 300 plus varieties, 1,500, 300 species, 1,500 varieties, versus the correct Coleus verscoli. And how do you know that if you're taking a supplement, it actually has that particular Coleus in it? It can say Coleus on the bottle, and it can be your regular garden variety that is not going to give you the response that you're looking for. So it is really important to trust the company that does research and understands the importance and value of not only the proper plant, but what part of the plant that was used during the research that showed the results that you want, and also the time, because if you pick something before the elements are actually in that, then you're not going to get the best ingredient possibility that you can get. So here's a word from our sponsor. You know how much I love Nature Sunshine, and the fact that they have a research facility right in their complex that they can test over 600 different tests to determine whether the product has any dirt in it, whether it has contaminants in it, what else is in there, whether the right ingredient is in there. I urge you to go to the Nature Sunshine website and check out their quality control and understand how many tests these products have to go through before they're okay to be put into either tablet or capsule form. Now, the ingredients in Blood Pressure X are 1,500 international units of vitamin E. Now, vitamin E, we know, is very important for heart health. L-arginine is in the news all the time for helping with better circulation. Olive leaf extract, I actually have done a video on olive leaf and the importance of this particular herb. Grapeseed extract, I actually linked a video I did on grapes and the importance of grapeseed extract. And of course, coleus root extract is the topic of discussion today. Hawthorn berries, in the news a lot when you talk about heart health. And goldenrod. Now, all of these combined will create the benefits talked about in that research. Now, 25% discount is applied when you use the link below. And I urge you to go to that link and check it out for further information on Blood Pressure X and basically what others have talked about. So if you're not doing any coleus in your garden, or if you've had experience using coleus, I'd love to hear from you. So please give me a comment. I believe that medicine is all around us, and the fact that people don't know about it is because there has been a lot of bad press about using phytochemicals. Phytochemicals, plants, are very good medicine. and I feel they're God-given medicine. They're medicine that have been around for hundreds, even thousands of years. And there's tons of research that has been passed down. Now, maybe it hasn't been done in test tubes and okayed by the FDA, but you know that a drug that is okayed by the FDA, 50% of those are taken off the market within 5 years. What kind of rating is that? To me, that's not any kind of rating. Something that's been around for centuries, to me, that's good rating. That's a good percentage. You know, no one never knows what's going to happen with the supply chain. The way it's going, we could have medication unavailable to us, and it's really important to know other options. For example, what other factors could be involved in blood pressure, having blood pressure too high? Maybe you're not drinking enough water. Maybe you're eating the wrong foods, the wrong fats. Maybe you have poor digestion, and therefore these fats are storing and they're contributing to ill health. There are a multitude of reasons why people have high blood pressure, and addressing them with just a pill is not the answer. You need to dig further and figure out what it is. Maybe it's a fact that you are too sedentary and you're not out there getting involved in like gardening or walking or playing some kind of a sports that would get your blood flowing. It's really important to get fresh air, get your vitamin D, and to supplement when you can't do those things. So learn what you can about getting healthy. I have many videos on my channel explaining how the body works and what it needs to maintain health. And if you focus on health instead of disease, your body's going to understand what your goal is. If you're constantly thinking about your disease, that's what your body's going to focus on. So what you say to yourself, the people you surround yourself with, what you believe in, these are all factors in good health. So I hope you're growing food. I'm finding nooks and crannies to put food in every little area I can, because it's going to be very important. The way you preserve foods and have it for future, one never knows. One could not anticipate the amount of buildings that have burned to the ground, or chickens that were contaminated and had to be killed, cattle dying. The world is a crazy place, and you really need to know where to find food, where to find water, and have it on hand. So I want to thank you for taking the time to view these videos. Food is our best medicine. And so eating healthy is really, really important. The purpose of these videos is to help you understand that herbs and food help our body get back into balance. Disease occurs when the body is out of balance. Doctors prescribe and diagnose, and that's certainly not the way this video is about, what this video is about. Natural medicine works with imbalances, whether they are emotional or physical, and many times those imbalances are due to a lack of knowledge. So I urge you to please subscribe and share these videos so that your friends can be healthy along with you. I have 3 different formats on my YouTube channel. There's this one, which I call Health to Home. There's my Gardening with Granny. And then there's my monthly videos that are an hour long. I call them Herbal Hours. And pick something that is very interesting to you. They're mostly upbeat, they're mostly informative, and I hope that you find them enjoyable. So get control of your health by focusing on what is healthy. And until next time, this is Dr. Mary for the Health of It.